What's up, Eagles fans, and welcome into the Eagle Eye in the Sky. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we're going to take you through all of the most pivotal plays in the most recent Eagles game, and we're going to do this every single week throughout the course of the season. You guys hopefully follow me on Twitter at EaglesXOs, and that means that you maybe read my article every single week where I recap every Eagles game. We're going to take all those plays from that article, and we're just going to package them up into a nice little video here for our YouTube audience. Now, if you subscribe to the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast fueled by Gatorade, you will listen to myself and Greg Cosell every single week talk through all of these plays. Well, now you've got a place right here on YouTube where you can watch all of those plays in action. And obviously, look, it was a very disappointing start to the Eagles season. They lose 27-17 to the Washington football team. Plenty to take away that's positive, but we will look at some of the negatives as well. The good thing about all of this, though, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, I view this as very correctable mistakes. A lot of the stuff that we're going to see here in the next couple of minutes, the interceptions, the sacks, all areas where I feel like, yeah, you can tweak a couple things here and there, and you can move this forward. You can fix this, get the ship right going into this Week 2 matchup against Los Angeles. We'll start with the 8 sacks. I feel like that's such a big storyline coming out of this game. Let's take a look at those 8 sacks. All right, let's quickly buzz through these 8 sacks by Washington. You're going to see here on the very first one a 4-man slide to the left. That leaves Jack Driscoll one-on-one with a DN on the opposite side. But with that late safety rotation, he gets his eyes caught on the safety. That lets Ryan Kerrigan come in clean to Carson Wentz, so a busted protection leads to the first snap. Then you're going to see a little bit later, little screen pass to Dallas Goedert is sniffed out by 2 Washington defenders. Carson tries to run up the middle for a couple of yards, ends up getting taken down for a sack. Later, Corey Clement tries to chip Chase Young. Chase Young does a nice job here playing off the chip, and that block from Clement actually bumps him into the B gap away from Jason Peters and right into the sack. You see this sometimes with chip blocks. That's one of the risks of those backs helping out with the tackles out of the backfield. Here off play action, Carson Wentz is going to drop back. He's waiting for Richard Rodgers, a little bit slow to release on this route underneath. Everything's covered deep. Defensive end right in his lap, so the scheme kind of breaks down there for Carson Wentz. Later, he's waiting for Zach Ertz to open up here. By the time he gets to his second read, the pocket's already collapsed around him, so he can't even get to his second progression here. That stunt inside collapses the pocket. He's bounced backwards, and they get bumped out of field goal range. They miss a field goal there on that one. A little bit later, both these linebackers are going to blitz up the middle. Jason Kelce's sliding left. He's got the one on the left. Boston Scott does not pick up the one on the right. This was a 4th down play that gives Washington the ball in Eagles territory. That was a tough sack to take. Here, off play action, Ryan Kerrigan just makes this play. This was a great recognition play by the veteran. Quickly transitions from run to pass against the play action fake. He beats the block from Sayamalu, and he's able to get home. That's just a nice play by Washington, one of the best players on that defense. And then here, the last sack, Carson Wentz is going to step up. He gets early pressure from defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis. Does a nice job protecting the football. By the time he's ready to deliver this pass, Chase Young and the rest of the Washington defense is there. So that's the 8 sacks for Washington. A bunch of different reasons, right? It wasn't one consistent theme, just a lot to clean up for Week 2. So as you can see, it's not like all of those sacks were, because of one specific issue or one breakdown, one side of the line of scrimmage. There was small issues here and there that just need to be corrected. Some missed assignments. There were some, miscommunications. You had some bad luck. You also had some nice plays by the Washington defensive front 7. Ryan Kerrigan, alone made a couple of really nice plays there on some of those tapes. So I think when you look at, the overall, 8 sacks, tough to win when you've got that kind of situation, when you put yourself behind the 8 ball, because the Eagles really, really bad on 3rd down in this game. But a lot of that was because of some of the negative plays you had on 1st and 2nd down. Before we get to that, though, let's dig into some of the turnovers, the 2 interceptions in this game. Tough plays, and I think when you look at them both, as I'm going to show you here, the timing just a little bit off between Carson Wentz and those 2 receivers. Let's take a look at those 2 picks. All right, so let's take a look at the 2 interceptions here from Carson Wentz. First one, late in the second quarter, Fabian Moreau is going to be in off-zone coverage. So you see his back to the sideline, eyes on the quarterback, still kind of feeling the route in front of him. Jalen Reagor doesn't do quite enough to affect that corner, so he's able to break on this throw. The ball's a little bit further inside than you'd like it, and Moreau is able to get both hands on the football, come down with the interception. The timing just not quite there yet with Jalen Reagor and Carson Wentz. Just on this route, on this individual play, we've obviously seen them connect on this throughout the course of training camp and in live action in scrimmages. But on this one play, we saw that the corner was able to read the ball, jump the route,
and make a play on it for an interception. Then later, you see first play of the drive, Eagles in good field position here. Jimmy Moreland once again off zone coverage. He's got his back to the sideline. The ball's coming out early. You see the anticipation from Wentz here on the hitch route to John Hightower, but Hightower doesn't come out of the break great, doesn't have time to attack the football, and then just gets out-muscled at the catch point by Jimmy Moreland, who's able to make this play, bring it back the other way. Washington gets 2 touchdowns off these 2 turnovers, and those mistakes were pivotal in the loss.
So like I said, the timing just a little bit off there with Carson and with those 2 receivers, with Jalen Reagor and with John Hightower on those 2 plays, the 2 rookies. And it's not that has been a consistent issue through camp. We've actually seen really good rapport with Carson Wentz on those 2 rookies throughout the course of the summer. But the first live action against an opposing team, you didn't have the preseason. Timing still needs to be worked on with those guys. You saw that on both those plays. Obviously, that first ball to Jalen Reagor, a little bit more inside than you would like. You'd like that to be a little bit further to the sideline. But I didn't think either pass was, overall that bad. I just thought that the timing wasn't quite there with both guys, and it led to 2 interceptions that, look, Washington was able to capitalize on. 2 touchdowns off those 2 picks, and it put Washington in position to really take advantage of and regain the lead in this game. So tough to come back off of 8 sacks, 2 picks. You had a forced fumble in there as well. So 3 turnovers on the day for this Eagles offense. Tough to bounce back from. That being said, there were some good things. And I think overall, when you look at this game, one of the big bright spots was certainly the rookie, first-round pick, Jalen Reagor, 55-yard catch, an example of one thing that we saw consistently from him back at TCU, his ability as a vertical route runner. I was just so impressed with his ability to work downfield and be a deep threat. We saw that in the second drive of the game. And again, this goes back to his days at TCU.
Let's take a look at rookie Jalen Reagor, this 55-yard catch from Carson Wentz in the first quarter. Thing of beauty here from Jalen. It's a 3-by-1 formation. He's on the backside of trips, and you're going to see him attack the corner's technique. Ronald Darby in coverage. You see Darby opened to the field, right? Back to the sideline. We've seen this before. Jalen does a great job of eating up ground and attacking Darby's technique. Again, he sees that Darby's opened up to the field, so he has to widen his stem. He has got to get towards the sideline to make Darby think, is he running a fade? Is he going to run a deep out? Is he going to run a comeback? Just get Darby to chatter his feet or even flip his hips the other way, and now Jalen has won. As you can see, he closes that distance. He steps on Darby's toes, basically, and now the battle is over. He is going to take off down the field on a deep post route, and then the ball tracking ability. Just an outstanding catch from Jalen Reagor over the shoulder, looking it in through his eyelids. Great finish down the field. This is exactly what I saw from Jalen Reagor. This is what everyone saw from Jalen Reagor on film at TCU. He has the ability to be a big play weapon. This was an outstanding route, attacking off coverage. And again, we've seen this before. I'm going to go back to TCU, and this is a route that I covered in my rookie film room piece, which you could find on PhiladelphiaEagles.com and the Eagles YouTube page on Jalen Reagor. He, again, is going to attack off coverage. Look at him here. Get the corner to flip his hips by widening his initial stem and then breaking to the post. That's how he's able to create that initial separation. He runs under this throw and takes it to the house. That's what Jalen Reagor did consistently as a vertical route runner at TCU. Now, an area of improvement. There was one play late in the second quarter where it was a deep ball from Carson Wentz. You're going to see here, similar route, a deep post route. He just kind of slows up his stride coming out of that break, and then the ball's overthrown. If he's going full speed out of that break, he might be taking that one to the house as well. Unfortunately, falls incomplete, but plenty to like from Jalen Reagor in his debut.
All right, so like I said at the end there, you saw the good from Jalen Reagor. Certainly some areas where he can get a little bit better as well. You saw that incompletion down the field. He did have a missed block as well in the screen game on the left side. So some areas that he can definitely improve on, but I thought we saw a lot of really good things from Jalen Reagor. And keep in mind, too, nursing that injury, that shoulder injury, that there was some question of whether or not he was going to be able to go in this game over the last 10, 14 days or so. So good to be able to see him tough that out and come out and have an impact in his debut. Awesome to see. Now, another receiver I wanted to highlight, just a guy that consistently showed up. I mentioned that the Eagles struggled on third down. Well, one guy who had 2 first down conversions on third down for this Eagles offense was Greg Ward, who has been really such a reliable slot presence over the last 18 months for this Eagles offense. And I think when you look at what he did in this game, really good example of that. Let me show you what I mean.
One guy who I thought did a nice job in this game was Greg Ward in the slot. And you're going to see just a couple of plays here. This one's early. It's a 3rd and 4. He's going to be running an over route. And Carson Wentz, he's going to get through his progressions here. And Greg Ward is on the back side of this. But you're going to see the pocket's going to collapse around Wentz. He's got to be able to break the pocket. And Ward does a nice job of getting back into the quarterback's vision, reducing the route a little bit. You see him working back towards the quarterback. And then he finishes with a nice catch, pirouetting at the catch point, bringing this pass in on the run. Nice job from both guys here as we can take a look from the end zone. You could see Carson breaking the pocket, making this throw, having to contort his body all the way around. Nice throw, moving to his left. Nice catch there as well by Greg Ward. Now, we go to the next one. This was one of my favorite plays. You're going to see Ward here in the slot pre-snap. It's 3rd and 8. This is in the second half, and you're going to see Greg Ward. He sees the leverage of the corner, and he kind of sniffs this out, that this is going to be a nickel pressure. You see him point it out. He's letting Carson Wentz know, hey, there's a blitz coming from this side. The Eagles are already sliding protection that way, but you see Greg Ward sawed his route off. So he makes himself available to Carson Wentz. He's short of the sticks, gets upfield, picks up the first down, moves the chains. Nice job by Greg Ward. These are the things you need from your slot receiver. Make yourself available in the middle of the field on scramble drills and also on pressure. Make yourself a very reliable target, and that's what Ward has been. He's really developed over the course of his career.
So great stuff there from Greg Ward. And obviously, like I said, he's not going to wow you with the physical tools, but with what he did over the course of the game, I thought he had a really nice day. Just a guy that you can really you can rely on. He could be a really dependable possession threat in the middle of the field. That's what you're looking for from a slot receiver. I thought Greg Ward had a nice day on Sunday. Another guy that I think kind of falls in that same boat. He's not going to wow you with his physical tools, but was just consistent. And this goes back to what we talked about a little bit earlier with the rookie Jalen Reagor. I think when you look at what Jack Driscoll did in his first ever NFL game at right tackle, starting for Lane Johnson, a little bit of a surprise start. We didn't know that it was going to happen until Sunday afternoon. Jack Driscoll stepped in. I thought he looked really good. He did a nice job. He had a couple of mental breakdowns. We saw the sack he gave up earlier on a little bit of a mental bust in protection. But I thought that Jack Driscoll more than held his own against Ryan Kerrigan, Chase Young, and the rest of that Washington defensive line. I'll show you some examples of what I mean.
One guy I couldn't wait to watch this morning was rookie Jack Driscoll getting the start at right tackle for Lane Johnson. This is the opening drive. He's going up against the number 2 pick, Chase Young. Watch the job he does here. Good hands, good feet, stay square to the target. Look at him strain here at the end. This is a long completion to Deshaun Jackson. You just saw consistency, rep after rep after rep. Was it always pretty? No, he did have a mental bust on a sack. We saw that a little bit earlier. But you just see the calm, the confidence, and you see always in a good position with his body. He's not the most explosive, powerful athlete, but you see a guy, and we're going to see him here in the run game, come off the ball in a double team. Not a guy that's going to consistently move people snap after snap after snap, but he plays with good technique, good leverage, good hand placement. You see the softness he's able to create here on this zone run for Corey Clement on a few-yard gain in a backed-up situation. I thought it was a really good debut for Jack Driscoll. Another rep here. We're going to see him in pass protection. Again, you just see the knee bend. You see the hand usage. Look at the first initial strike here against Chase Young, who's longer than Driscoll, but he's able to get inside his pads. You see the strength there in his hands. You see the late strain. Another completion to Zach Ertz over the middle of the field. I thought we just saw a lot of consistency. He ended up getting dinged up late in the game and had to come out. I thought Jordan Mailata did a nice job in his replacement as well, but I thought when you really look at Jack Driscoll, he had a nice game, really nice debut for the rookie out of Auburn.
Well, great stuff there from Jack Driscoll, and I'm really just excited to see it because he built off of what was a good summer. I thought he had a really nice showing during training camp, earned his way into the starting lineup. I really thought he played his way into being one of the 5 best linemen on opening day. Really nice debut there for Jack Driscoll. High hopes for what he can be moving forward. All right, so let's talk about some schematics, all right? One of the big stars of this game was Dallas Goedert, 8 catches, over 100 yards. He had that big touchdown. What I liked, though, using the tight ends, we saw a little bit of a different personnel package. We make such a big deal about the 12 personnel, right? 1 back, 2 tight ends on the field, and the Eagles did a ton of that, over 56% of their snaps in 12 personnel on Sunday. Well, you go back to another personnel group that we saw, 0-2 personnel, no backs, 2 tight ends on the field, 3 receivers. So they were able to spread the field and they went empty, just really kind of putting the defense a little bit of a bind. They have to really declare how they're going to line up. I really explained that in my Eagle Eye in the Sky article. We're going to talk about in the podcast this week with Greg Cosell as well. But when you spread all those guys out, good things happen. We saw that with 2 big conversions here, both to Dallas Goedert and to Zach Ertz.
One creative personnel grouping we saw from the Eagles on Sunday was the use of 0-2 personnel. So no running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 receivers on the field. And when you spread everybody out and empty, you force the defense to declare. If it's man-to-man, well, now you've got 5 one-on-ones across the width of the field. Zach Ertz able to win in the middle of the field here against Landon Collins for the first down. And you can see here from the end zone angle just what Zach Ertz is as a route runner. He does a great job here of widening his stem, his initial release off the line of scrimmage, and that's going to allow Landon Collins to work outside before Ertz breaks inside. And that's all the intricacies of route running, is the ability to manipulate the defender, get them to go where you are not going to go. And that's exactly what Ertz does there. Nice catch over the middle of the field to move the chains on third down. The Eagles ran this personnel grouping 4 times in the game. A couple of offsides penalties from Washington kept them from running 4 plays, but you saw this 4 snaps. And here you're going to see again that 0-2 personnel, one-on-ones across the board. You've got Dallas Goedert running a vertical route one-on-one against a linebacker in Kevin Pierre-Louis. Carson Wentz just has to throw it away from that post safety. Great adjustment from Dallas Goedert here. And they're able to get a touchdown, 30-plus yards over the shoulder. Outstanding throw and catch between Carson Wentz and Dallas Goedert. But I love the scheming here from the Eagles coaching staff. Getting your 5 best playmakers on the field at once. No Miles Sanders in this game. So now they're going to go with that 0-2 personnel. Just really good stuff there from Dallas Goedert, Carson Wentz, and the Eagles offense.
All right, so the last thing schematically from the Eagles offense that I really like, just that opening drive. I just felt like it was scripted so well. They did a great job of attacking Washington's defense, putting them in tight situations. A lot of 12 personnel on that opening drive, a lot of reduced formations where everybody was lined up between the numbers, and that kind of dictates to the defense how to play coverage, how you're going to line up. So really forced Washington to give Carson Wentz some answers to the test early before the snap, understanding how they were going to deploy their defense. And then I thought they did a good job of attacking zone coverage, and it finished with a touchdown to Zach Ertz. So really just kind of a picture-perfect drive. A lot to like here on the opening few plays for this Eagles offense. Let's get to the breakdown.
I thought the opening drive was really well scripted by Doug Peterson and his coaching staff. You see 12 personnel. This is going to be the first pass play of the game, and you're going to see Carson Wentz drop back off play action, and he's going to look over to his left, and he sees Deshaun Jackson, but he's going to work to the middle of the field and hit Dallas Goedert right over the logo. Really nice high-low concept, attacking the linebackers in the middle of that zone coverage defense. You know Jack Del Rio, Ron Rivera, a lot of zone coverage, so you're going to try and do different vertical stretches to put those guys in binds. That's what you're going to see here. Again, off play action. This is going to be a dagger concept. You're going to get John Hightower taking the top off the defense, Deshaun Jackson working over the middle. You had Boston Scott coming out of the flat to hold that linebacker there. Deshaun Jackson makes that catch in the middle of the field for a first down. A few plays later, down in the red zone, 11 personnel in the game now. 1 back, 1 tight end. You see that little motion there from J.J. Arcega-Whiteside as if it's going to be a run play. But J.J. is going to release up to the second level, and Carson Wentz off play action is going to hit Dallas Goedert in the flat for a nice completion. He makes a couple men miss, and he gets into the low red zone down into the 5-yard line. Now, let's see how they punch it in. This is going to be a touchdown catch by Zach Ertz. 12 personnel. You see Dallas Goedert at the bottom, Zach Ertz at the top. Off the motion, Dallas Goedert goes from right to left. Off the play fake, Carson Wentz staring right into the middle of the field. Real quickly, here's the route concept. Looks like it could be like one of those little rub routes, but Zach Ertz, instead of picking that corner on the outside, is actually going to break to the post. Carson is looking at J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I think that's the route he wants here off the play fake. Landon Collins does a great job of sinking back into the throwing lane off of the play fake. Carson Wentz works back to his left, does a great job of finding Zach Ertz in the back of the end zone. Really nice job by Carson Wentz going through his progression there, understanding I'm not going to force this throw. Landon Collins is taking that initial read away. He wanted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside off that first read. Once Collins takes it away, he's working back to his left, and the excellent man-beater concept they had working on that side worked to perfection. Zach Ertz, touchdown on the opening drive.
All right, so obviously not all perfect for this Eagles offense, but still plenty of positives to take away as we move into week 2. All right, so let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I thought the defense was outstanding. The defensive line, consistent pressure on Dwayne Haskins. The run defense, 2.2 yards per carry for this Washington team. Terry McLaurin was relatively held in check. And then you've got all these guys at all 3 levels making plays. Jalen Mills really showed up. The linebackers, Duke Riley and Nate Gary. Rodney McLeod had a good game. But let's go to the defensive line, because I thought Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson, for the first time together fully healthy, awesome to see. And we'll start with Fletcher Cox, who really, the opening drive, it just started with Fletcher showing up both in the run game and the pass game, but he was a force all game long. Let's go to the film.
All right, let's take a look at Fletcher Cox here. And obviously just a dominant force. We know what he can be when he's fully healthy, and he is right now. You see Fletcher come off the ball. Look at him take on the right tackle, Morgan Moses. Strong on contact, stays square, crosses the face of the blocker, and is able to get to the backfield as a tackle at the line of scrimmage in the run game. Fletcher Cox was a force against the run at the point of attack and on the backside in this game. You see him here once again off the left side as a 3 technique, taking on Brandon Scherf and the right tackle, Morgan Moses. Look at him get off the double, chase this play to the perimeter, outside the numbers, get the ball carrier down. Nice job there from Fletcher Cox early in this game. You see the motor. And then let's see him here lined up as a nose tackle, inside shade of the guard, again against Brandon Scherf, square on contact, locking his arms out, playing peekaboo with the offensive lineman, gets the running back down on the ground at the goal line. Nice run stuff there from number 91, Fletcher Cox. Just more of the same from him. And then we're going to see him here lined up, head up over the center, as a 0 technique in this bare front. See him just get off the ball, get skinny. You see the athleticism, the light feet, gets into the backfield, tracks the back down for a tackle for loss. Good stuff from Fletcher Cox in this game.
So you see Fletcher Cox. Now let's go over to Malik Jackson. And Malik had maybe the best camp of any Eagle here this summer at the NovaCare Complex, at least by my eyes. I thought Malik Jackson looked outstanding, was so disruptive, working off the left side. That, once again, showed its head here. I thought he was outstanding against Washington. Let's go to the tape.
Now we'll take a look at Malik Jackson, who really, really flashed in this game. You're going to see him here in the pass game. Nice little speed to power rush. He's going to kind of pound the drum a little bit, get inside the chest of Wes Martin. Look at the bull rush there, just knock him backwards. Just an awesome bull rush with a hit on Dwayne Haskins. Lined up here on the right side. You see him as a 2-eye technique, inside shoulder of the guard. Does a nice job locking out. You see him, he's got his eyes on the football, full control of this block from snap to whistle. And you see Malik Jackson able to make this play behind the line of scrimmage, leading the way for all the white jerseys. Nice job by Malik Jackson on that one. Now we see him off the right side again in pursuit here. Look at him chase outside the numbers. You see the closing burst, the violent finish. Nice play there in pursuit. And then you got one more here of Malik Jackson again attacking the block, tight hands, good hat placement, good hand placement. His eyes are in the right spot, and he's able to impact the running back behind the line. 2.2 yards per carry. Malik Jackson, Fletcher Cox at the forefront of this run defense.
Another guy I'm really excited about is Josh Sweat, and this is a player that is going into his 3rd season now. We've seen him make incremental improvements year after year. Former 4th-round pick out of Florida State. Basically a redshirt year as a rookie. Was a nice role player last year. Now he's in the starting lineup with Derek Barnett on the sideline. He got a sack fumble in this game. We're going to take a look at that, but also making an impact against the run as well. Really like what we saw from Josh Sweat. Let's see what he put on film for us.
All right, let's take a look at defensive end Josh Sweat here. And this is the sack fumble. Huge play here. That could have been a game changer for the Eagles. 5 over 5 looks. You've got 5 defensive linemen spread out, 2 defensive tackles, Malik Jackson, Fletcher Cox on the inside. You've got Brandon Graham, Jannard Avery, and Josh Sweat on the right side. Sweat's going to win with a little flash and then rip move. He's going to flash that inside arm, dip the shoulder around Jerron Christian. Does a nice job getting home. Got a sack fumble. Unfortunately, Washington able to recover. Could have been a huge play for the Eagles, but unfortunately unable to come up with the big play there. But great sack fumble from Josh Sweat, who also showed up in the run game. This one's early on. You just see him use his length, and he's strong. He sets a strong edge. He was able to deter the running back from getting outside a number of times. And being able to stop the run, you need a strong edge presence. That's what you get from Josh Sweat, who did a nice job on that play. You're going to see him one more time here, this time off the right side. That's where the majority of his reps came in this matchup. Strong hands inside. He'll look to lock out. He gets off the block there and is able to get in on the ball carrier. Sweat, nice game on Sunday.
So the last player I want to talk about is Darius Big Play Slay. The Eagles make the trade for him in the offseason. There was all that we talked about, right, all through the summer and through leading up into this game against Washington, the matchup with him and Terry McLaurin. Is he going to shadow him? How often is he going to be man-to-man coverage? We saw a lot of Terry McLaurin versus Darius Slay in man-to-man. And the big number for me, 1 catch, 21 yards. That's what Terry McLaurin got against Darius Slay when he was matched up on him man-to-man. He ended up with 5 catches on the day. The other 5 did not come in man-to-man against Slay. Really impressive debut for Big Play Slay. I know not production on the football, but he did a great job of shadowing really the best player on the field for that Washington offense in Terry McLaurin. Let's go to the film.
The Eagles acquired Darius Slay this offseason with the hope that he would be able to shadow opposing number 1 receivers, and that's what the Eagles got in the first game of the season against Washington. Press man coverage against Terry McLaurin takes away the deep corner route. Nothing there for Dwayne Haskins. He has to go away from it. Here, you see a little bit later, again, press man coverage, top of the screen. You see him mirror McLaurin at the top of the route. He's able to shadow it. No window there for Dwayne Haskins to be able to deliver this football over the top. A little bit later, top of the screen once again, press man coverage, right? You see more of Darius Slay against Terry McLaurin. Again, staying in that hip pocket. He's not even in the progression right now for Dwayne Haskins. He's got to get off him quick, goes to the other side of the field. Same thing, top of the screen now in the red zone. Stays on top of that slant route, undercuts it, takes away the throw. It's not there, not available for Dwayne Haskins. Wants to make that throw and can't. One catch, 21 yards for Terry McLaurin in man-to-man coverage against Darius Big Play Slay in this game.
All right, so as I mentioned, not an ideal start to the season. The Eagles start 0-1. Hope you guys enjoyed all of these film breakdowns. Again, make sure you subscribe to the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, fueled by Gatorade, wherever podcasts can be found. You can follow me on Twitter as well, at EaglesXOs. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Eagles!